Hello everyone, welcome to Bella Academy. Just a heads up, we do resources on A-level economics, politics and psychology, and also we do resources on GCSE combined science, maths and English language. We provide scans for textbooks for only £5 each, so check the description box for the list of textbooks we provide. Do not try and use our resources elsewhere, especially without our tag. Contact us through our email bellaacademy@gmail.com. Let's get on with today's topic. So today's topic is conformity to social roles. This is Zimbardo's study. This is how I remember this whole topic. I just call it Zimbardo's study because that is the main study that this topic revolves around. If you can check the top right, you can see that there's written AO1. This is the start of your paragraph if you're doing a 16 marker. This is mainly your start bit that you include. And so we're going to get on with it. I put them in bullet points. I could summarize it as much as possible. If you can't remember all these bullet points, then I would suggest you to pick some key bits that you think you will remember and just remember those. So I just made it as condensed as I could. So let's get on with the procedure. So there was a mock-up prison set up in the basement of psychology department at Stanford University in USA, in specific California. There were male volunteers. They were screened physically and psychologically, and the 24 stable one out of them were assigned either the guard position or the prisoner position. They were arrested at their homes unexpectedly to the prison, where they were given uniform and ID number, sorry. And the guards would refer them with ID numbers, and prisoners were given basic rights. So they were given rights such as 3 meals a day, 3 supervised toilet visits, and 2 visits per week. So the guards were given uniforms, clubs, whistles, and reflective sunglasses, which were used to avoid eye contact with the prisoners. Zimbardo actually also participated in the study, so he took on the role of prisoner superintendent. This lasted for 2 weeks. Actually, it didn't last for 2 weeks, but it was expected to last for 2 weeks. So in the findings, we find that guards were so increasingly abusive, and this was in a span of a couple of days. Now, this happened quickly. They started to get more and more abusive. They would wake prisoners up and make them clean toilets with their bare hands, and guards would volunteer for extra hours, and they would do it without any money. Like they didn't want money. They just wanted to work extra hours. So they got into the role even when they were unaware that they were being watched. They conformed to their roles, and one prisoner even asked for parole instead of withdrawal because this is an experiment. So normally, as a participant, you would be like, I want to withdraw from this experiment, but no, they were like, I want a parole. Like, they actually were so conformed to their roles that they forgot that this is an experiment. Actually, 5 prisoners were sent home because of the extreme reactions they got, and this was after 2 days. And so the study was actually terminated 6 days. So as I said, 2 weeks. It was expected to last 2 weeks, but it actually terminated 6 days. Because of Zimbardo's wife. She intervened and said that this abuse is unjustifiable and the participants shouldn't go through this, and this is just unjust. So he decided to end the experiment after 6 days. This is also AO1. This is the BBC prison study. This is mainly like, you can include that in your 16 marker, like to refer to another study. But normally you would get a question on this, like what other studies did um, study conformity. So when they say other study, that's when you use this, or they might say like, oh, can you explain another study that actually did not harm its participants, unlike Zimbardo, like something similar to this. So that's when you use the BBC prison study. Again, you can use this in your 16 marker right after Zimbardo's study. You can be like, another study that was conducted similar to a replication of Zimbardo's study, but which did not do much harm, which prevented harm to its participants. So, yeah. Um, so the procedure was that they randomly assigned men to guard or prisoner, 15 men. They were divided in a group of 5, which means there were 3 participants in each group. And so there were 2 prisoners and 1 guard. The study ran for 8 days. The findings were that they didn't conform automatically. The prisoners worked collectively to challenge the guards. Guards failed to identify their role. So this study actually didn't have similar results as Zimbardo's study. So, you can use this in the evaluation as well. So this could be AL2, AL3, I'm sorry. So you could use this in the evaluation if you wanted to, when discussing the weakness of the Zimbardo study. So let's get on with the evaluation, like the key part of your paragraph. This is the last bit where you put in all your analysis, and this is AO3, as you guys can see from the top. So let's start with the first point, that is conformity wasn't automatic. According to Haslam and Rachel, because there were few good guards that didn't harass the prisoners. So there were bad guards, but there were also good guards. So this suggested that they actually chose to behave like that. So it was their own individual responsibility, because there were good guards and there were bad guards. So you can't really say that it was conformity, it was rather they chose. So this is a weakness regarding Zimbardo's study. The next point is the behavior was a result of demand characteristics after Benzoisi and Mujahidi presented the study to people who never heard of the study and asked to guess the purpose of the study, and the majority got it right. So that meant that the participants that were in the study knew what Zimbardo expected from them, so they acted the role. So it was more to do with demand characteristics than conformity. So this is another weakness of this study, that it's not conformity but rather demand characteristics. The next point is Zimbardo's study followed the ethical guidelines of Stanford University. However, many people said that it could have stopped earlier due to the emotional stress, and Zimbardo carried on Zimbardo actually carried debriefing sessions where he, asked the participants, or did you have any long-lasting effects? And he found out that there was no long-lasting effects due to the study. But again, he could have taken the extra steps to be ethical. But Haslam and Rachel set up the same experiment, but it was less harmful, as we said. And so now you can use the BBC study to say that he could have put extra. But this, I didn't put any strength or weakness for this, because I think it could be both. It could be challenge, like this is a very, very good analysis evaluation point, because what you could do is you can start by saying that, what, it followed the ethical guidelines. It was on point, like there was nothing wrong, and it did not find any long lasting effects. But so now you've stated as, like, for example, you've stated a strength. Now you've gone against it by saying, but there was another study, but it was less harmful. And then you can do a mini conclusion, I would say, but it followed the guidelines. So, it's a very good back on back argument. So I didn't put strength or weakness, so you can decide whether you want to make it a weakness or a strength. The last point is, according to Zimbardo, the study could explain the conformity in Abu Ghraib during 2003 and 2004, when US soldiers abused Iraqi prisoners due to lack of situational factors such as lack of training, boredom, and no accountability. So Zimbardo says that the results and the findings from his study actually reflect a real life event, which is Abu Ghraib, where US soldiers abused Iraqi prisoners, and saying that it's because of lack of situational factors like training, boredom, no accountability. So this is a strength because, of course, this reflects a real life event. So this is a real life application, and this makes people understand like why certain people in authority act the way they do, and it's quite a good strength that it reflects a real life event. So that's it for Zimbardo's study, which is conformity to social roles. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below. We will get to it. For now, bye from Bella Academy, and do not forget to check the descriptions for further information. And I'll see you at the next video with a new topic. Bye bye.